Yo, yo, welcome back to another episode of Island Boys Football Talk. It's your boy Kid Jizzle here. Your boy Keep It Pounding the Street is here. And 49er Gang Shane is not here as yet. Probably won't make it on the show today, being that he's dealing with Halloween trick or treating with the kids and the rest of the family. But we are Street and I are here, and we'll go ahead and get into the Monday night game, which was the Raiders and the Lions, and we'll also preview Thursday's game, which is I don't know who's Thursday's game,
I don't even.
and we'll also recap a few things that was on our games, which was the Eagles versus the Commanders, and the Carolina Panthers getting their first victory over the Houston Texans, the battle of the two first and second overall picks in um in the NFL draft, and we'll recap on the other teams around the NFL too as well.
Yeah,
So you want to
so
start?
like Jizzle said, it's final word this week for week 8. We'll also go through the trade deadline based on what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like from our teams. Speak a bit about the trade the 49ers made with Chase Young. I'm sure you're gonna be tuned in to hear what we gotta say about it. Um, yeah, we're streaming from our YouTube page live and Facebook page live, and you can always check us on Twitter as well. But don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That's one thing we want you guys to do. Hit the like and subscribe button to continue to keep following us. So as Jesus said, we're wrapping up week 8. The only thing I won't do is talk about the Monday night game because is it went as expected. The Raiders had no hope of beating the Lions. I never picked the Raiders to beat the Lions. So that's not much to talk about. The Raiders aren't a good team. The Lions is a good team. That's basically it. But we will wrap up our teams from week 8. I know we got a chance to dive into the the film. We'll also do 3 questions, 3 answers. Even though Shane isn't here, we'll still do a question for the 49ers. And I guarantee if you watch the show, you will be tuned into what we got to say about the 49ers. But yeah, 2 victories. The 2 teams that are here, victorious, Eagles and Panthers. And the 49ers coming up short yet again for the third straight week. We'll get into that. But Jill, what's your not fun award, but dive into your game and then going forward.
I mean, it's pretty much relying on what was said on Sunday. Um, even from looking at the film, offense played great. In the came out sluggish in the first half. They were able to make adjustments late in the first half, then came out dominant in the second half on all 3 phases of can't really say all 3 phases, on 2 phases pretty much was offense and special teams. Special teams has been great all season, and that's a good thing to Michael Clay as our special teams head coach. But Jalen Hurts, we all know that he has a bone bruise, and he played very efficient football, very great dominant football from the pocket. Didn't run as much. Wasn't able to move a whole lot in the, out of the pocket too as well. So that's a testament to Jalen Hurts in his progression, being able to become a much better pocket passer, more efficient pocket passer in the in the game. So gotta give credit to Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson for bringing him along too as well. Even though they kind of struggle a little bit in the play calling in the first half, they gotta one thing they gotta stick with is that run game. For some reason, we just keep forgetting to run the football. We always starting off with passing the football in the first half, and after when we get the second half, we start running the football. Why don't we mix match both, run and pass? Because what's going to happen is what teams are going to do is they're going to know that you're going to pass early on in the game. And then after that, they're going to game plan against that. So when I scheme against that, then I have to go for the.
You might got like a tunnel.
You get me?
Okay, now you're good again.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, you gotta mix and match the run game and the pass game. Reason being, teams teams will know scheme against that and know what you're gonna do. For the simple fact is, you start out the game passing. So what they're gonna do? Go and pass in defense. You're not adjusting. You one time you adjust to the run game is in the second half. I think they had what 4 carries in the first half alone. If you mix and match, you don't become predictable. But if you keep doing it this way, you will become predictable. You gotta be unpredictable. Later on, you're gonna be going against some good defensive coordinators and some much better teams, much better talented teams on defense. So I need Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson to come up with different ways to attack defenses and be more creative. Let's run the football some more. Even though you're not getting it early on downs and early in the plays at times, don't go away from it. Run the football. The passing game will be there. It will be there. The passing game is not gonna go nowhere. But you got to develop that run game. Once you develop that run game, it's gonna be hard to stop that team. We've seen it before. When the Eagles are running the game, running the football really well, that team is very hard to stop. We also got to control the turnovers. We are not doing a good job in taking care of football. Jalen Hurts did a good job this week, but for some reason, Kenneth Gainwell had a fumble. We fumbled a snap on a tush push on the 1 yard line in the red zone. If we take it, a football, we'll be dominating some of these games. Instead of putting up 20 points or 30 points, probably could up 40, 50 points. On defense, I like what Sean Desai does at times. What I don't like is when what he does with his blitz packages. Why are you blitzing and still playing 10 yards off? It's an easy pitch and catch. Why are you giving Sam Howell easy looks? Why aren't you playing tighter press coverage? Why aren't you giving Sam Howell different looks? Look at what Wick Martindale did. Was it last week against the Giants? He was bringing a lot of pressure and was giving Sam Howell a bunch of different looks. Sam Howell was confused from start to finish. We have the cornerbacks to do it. We have the defensive lines to do it. I mean, we got Bayard right now as one of our starting safeties right now who could also play man coverage too as well. Let's get creative on defense too, man. Come on. I don't know what's going on with James Bradbury. Look like he's playing a little sluggish right now. I don't know if he's disinterested at times. I don't know, but you can see times where his technique is off. He's not really lining up correctly. He's not playing the ball correctly. He's biting on double moves. This not the James Bradbury that we're used to seeing. This not the James Bradbury that I'm used to seeing. So they have to fix that. Um, N'Kobe Dean, I don't know what's going on with him, but he got benched in that game. He was getting turned around like a top from Logan Thomas. So I don't understand if you're the one seeing Nicholas Morrow and N'Kobe Dean in practice. When N'Kobe Dean got injured, Nicholas Morrow was playing great. But for some reason, you decided to bench Morrow, who was playing good football, and bring in N'Kobe Dean, who hasn't been playing for about 4 or 5 weeks, who's rusty. I understand that he was a third round pick, but still, you got to know your personnel. You've seen them in practice. You got to know who's dominating on the field, in game and in practice too as well. When you bring in N'Kobe Dean and you take away Nicholas Morrow, you take away that chemistry that Nicholas Morrow and Zach Cunningham had at the beginning of the season for those 4 games that N'Kobe Dean was out for. That's a bad decision. We got to get better at that. Another thing on the offense again, Why is it Kenneth Gainwell is getting so much touches? He's not explosive. He's okay in pass protection. What happened to Boston Scott? Boston Scott is a much better back than Kenneth Gainwell. He's a much better. He's much better at picking up the blitzes than Kenneth Gainwell is. He's even better than DeAndre Swift in blitz pickup. He's not a better explosive back, but he's better at blitz pickup. He should be a number two back. It should be Swift number one and Boston Scott your number two and Gainwell your number three. We gotta stop giving this Kenneth Gainwell um, so much at carries and so much at touches. We gotta stop. We got to get Boston Scott involved in the game somehow. We have to.
So looking at it, like the true, Howell putting up 400 yards ain't a good look,
We ain't no good look.
especially with the team. I mean, the team. I don't want to say the team is a bad team, but him putting up 400. I mean, he did throw the ball 52 times, but still, him putting up so much still ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
After
another
a dominating victory on defense against the Miami Dolphins, this is what I don't understand.
it from my eyes, it looks like if the pass rush don't get there, you guys gonna get touched. That's how it looked. It looked like you got some leaks and holes in the back. But the same thing, like you said, you don't know what Brad Barrett doing.
Mm-hmm.
The linebackers getting touched too in the middle of the field. If that if the pass rush don't come home, then they touch you. You know what that remind me of? That remind me of the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
If the 49ers pass rush don't get home, they getting killed.
They're getting killed.
I mean, you guys got with the players you got, you wouldn't really want to send a blitz. I mean, you
Right,
do send it
exactly.
every now and then, but with a Reddick, Cox, and them fellas, they should be getting home. And watching that game, you'll see that when they don't get home, Powell was getting he throws, making he throws. So I think yeah, you put up 38 points. That's expected from the Eagles. But you give up 31 points. That's a lot. And if you look at the stats, everything was kind of even. Time of possession, yards, passing, rushing. It was close to even. That's why the game was so close.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that you guys made a few more plays than the Commanders. And like, good thing AJ Brown make them tough catches for a touchdown, because then the game could have gone another way if he didn't pull them down. So I don't know what's going. I mean, the addition of Boyer is going to pay off in the end in the future, but the pass defense got to get his together. You can't just have Sam Howell out here trading and throwing for 400 yards when he just did a. Thing is, you just do a good job against Miami and then do
That's what.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it means that they probably underestimate Sam Howell.
That's probably what it was. But you saw
Thing
Sam Howell all in the season again. He taught you a
exactly,
little
you
bit.
can't
You
do
know what I
that.
mean?
You can't do it.
But it seems like Eric Bieniemy, like he has something when he plays the Eagles, because it's the same thing Kansas City. Like he knows how to scheme against this team.
I mean, but it's different coordinators now, though different defensive coordinators.
True.
It shouldn't have to happen. I can understand if it was a same defensive coordinator, then
Right.
you say Gannon got a problem with Bieniemy. But it can't be that Bieniemy just riding the Eagles. But it's two different people calling the defense. So the search should be calling the defense too. So, like you said, the bench Dean, who they hire on, I don't know how he'll. How,
Yeah, he was getting turned around like a top that game. In pass coverage, he didn't know when to pass off a certain player when they get in the zone, when to reroute a player and stuff like that. He looked like he was last.
hmm
So he had to get benched
And then you got a big game coming up with Dallas now.
with
That
Dallas.
just Dallas just manhandled the Rams, so they'll be coming in with some momentum. and we all know how division games is too. Um, so the thing about it for the Eagles is I don't really worry about the offense. The offense actually does get it done. It's just they kind of take a while, but this defense has to tighten up. And like I say, if they're not getting home and you're giving quarterback some time to make the throws, then what do you think a better quarterback gonna do? They're gonna touch you.
Gotcha. Pick your apart.
Exactly. Because you can't tell me that Johan Dotson destroyed the Eagles. Now you could have told me that McLaurin had 150 yards, but that wasn't the case. It's Dotson out there
In the slot.
getting all kind of things. So we gotta see how it goes in terms of things. This becoming I don't want to say a trend because it's good game, bad game, good game. I mean the offense. The thing is, good teams know how to win on bad days. So the offense below the defense.
That's true.
Sometimes the defense is below the offense. It happens.
And
Like
it's been like that for the past couple of weeks since the season started. So it's been off and on. We haven't, like I said before, we haven't played our best football as yet. Yeah, we haven't seen the offense and the defense play a complete game at the same time. So we still have yet to see that. Hopefully, we can see it later down the season.
and that's the
Maybe
thing.
we see it in playoffs.
We hoping
We
that it
hoping, right?
happens.
Exactly.
You can't go and hope. We gotta see. You can't go. On, I could have hoped that Bryce Young come out and touch everybody, but I can't live on hope.
Right.
Can't be hoping. These things gotta work. Gotta get these things together. And like I said, at this point, week 8, week 9, you too far in the season to give up any excuses. No, you kind of know what you got by week 8, week 9. So it's not like the thing with the Eagles is not being entirely bad. It's just bad game, good
The
game, bad
consistency.
game, good game.
Yeah.
I think that game against Dallas is gonna tell a lot. Not in terms of how Dallas. I don't really think Dallas is on the eat, but usually after a bad defensive showing, you come out strong the next game.
Hmm.
So we're gonna have to see how it goes for that game. But yeah, Sam Howell. Then you had the luxury of playing the two ends, and now all of a sudden them gone. So
Yeah,
imagine
them
if you
gone.
had catch the thing without them.
Chase Young was a non-factor in that game because he only had one tackle.
He been a
He had
non-factor
no
for a
pressures, no
lot.
sacks, none of that. But
He's
he
a
got 5 sacks
non-factor
in the
for a long.
season. I understand
Yeah, but some stats could be
that.
a little misleading. Like, you take
Right.
it easy. So I ain't know about that. But yeah, Eagles come through victorious. We'll turn it over to Carolina's game. I mean, I hope Jesus got a chance to see some film. I did send him some
Hmm.
clips, and those clips that I sent him, only two quarterbacks could kind of do them kind of things. So that I'll tell you one thing: Bryce Young, for all the criticism that the Panthers getting, for all the lack of talent in tough O line, you clearly see what Bryce Young capable of doing. Just imagine if you just decide to help him with some weapons in a better line. The guy has that special talent. He knows how to dissect and take. Clearly, we had the last ball for about the last possession before the game done. I think it was around the 5 minute mark, and we marched that ball straight down the field to kick a game winning field goal from our like 20-yard line. Marches straight down. He pick apart, made the right choice. It was in the second half, in the first half to in the second quarter, he orchestrated a deep drive for a touchdown. I think, like I say, because I would say what we want with Frank Wright. Maybe Frank Wright didn't like. Maybe Frank Wright actually wanted CJ Stroud, but he was calling a bad game for Bryce Young. Thomas Brown was actually calling a better game to help Bryce Young's strengths, and he called some really good plays. Jonathan Mingo, a rookie, finally got into it. Chalk should have had that catch that I showed you. That's an
Hmm.
easy catch for Chalk. He should have had it, but he was there. The thing about it is, Our O line gave up like 6 sacks. Jonathan Gwynn nearly killed Equano. I don't know what's going on with him. He's taking a step back. He can be Equano is a great athlete, but he needs refining. The thing about it is with him, when he was coming up at NC State, he was a mauler. He'd kill you in a run game.
Yeah,
That's basically it.
right.
But he was very, 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 very raw in the pass game, and it's showing with his feet and his hands and so. He'll kill you in a run game. But as a left tackle, you got to try to get that up to. Maybe there's a tag that he should go into guard and put a left tackle. That could be helpful in him. I think that could help. Or maybe he just needs some more time. The thing is, he maybe needs some more time, but the problem is you got Bryce Young back there that ain't big. You need to protect him now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing about it. But our line is again, we didn't help Chuba Howard. He only had 28 yards rushing, which felt like more. We had some big catches. We used the lawyers to running back. The game was a lot easier for Bryce Young. And then with all this talk about CJ Stroud out there dominating, CJ Stroud threw for 140 yards against the Panthers. Defense was banged up. Evero came up with a great game plan. Did not allow the deep passes. Did not allow CJ Stroud to pick your pass. CJ Stroud did make some good passes, but the Panthers defense was very, very, very solid. I was very impressed with it. And anybody that want to talk about, oh, CJ Stroud should have been one, no, I don't want to hear that. Because guess what? The Texans wanted to trade up to number one to draft Bryce Young. But when the Bears called it off, they had to settle for CJ Stroud. So CJ Stroud wasn't the first option. It was always Bryce Young. The knock on Bryce Young was always his size. But the guy is making some very good throws. And the thing about it is, we were at a, in my eyes, it was a crossroad for the trade deadline. In terms of, we could have traded for Jerry Judy or Sutton or Marquise Brown to help Bryce Young. But then you're giving away your assets, which remember we are already in our first round pick. Or you wait till the half season, or you do trade some players. Like if Jeremy Chin wasn't on IR, I believe he'd have been traded. We would have traded
Probably.
Jeremy Chin. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would have been gone. I'm surprised Terrace Marshall is there because Terrace Marshall did request a trade, but we drafted him in the second round. But I don't feel we would have gotten anything of value. People did call, but we would have probably gotten like a six, and I don't think the Panthers value that. Dante Jackson is another thing. They probably got a low ball offer. Brian Bonds is this topic because we turned down two first round picks. Can't resign him yet. People call about Brian Bonds. I would love to see what they think. I know that nobody asked for two first rounds. I guarantee nobody beat the Rams offer. Maybe a first and something, but they ain't gonna work. They're gonna stay with Brian Bonds. Brian Bonds and Derek Rung and JC Hahn and Frankie Louvo. Those guys are guys to build around.
The
Now
linchpins.
the thing for the offense is you have your franchise quarterback. You have to build around. Right? The sad look is I think we failed on the Miles Sanders. The Miles Sanders signing was a big failure. We gave him 4 years, 24 mil. That's like 6 years or 6 mil. But the contract can void after 2 years. So I do think that we were trying to offload him, but nobody wouldn't take on that contract. So we may be stuck with him for another year next year. But Chuba Hubbard is there. Sanders will have to, unfortunately,
Take a back seat.
Chuba, Chuba played in 18 snaps. I mean, not Chuba. My Sanders had 18 snaps for the game. Chuba Howard played up over 50% of the snaps. There's a clear shift, and Thomas Brown is showing it. He's going to rock with Chuba. Chuba's a hard runner. I don't know. Small Sanders, if you watch some clips, his vision isn't there. I don't understand like what he's seeing sometimes. Like you can see some holes and he don't hit the hole. He just a
That
follow. He a
mm-hmm.
follow the lineman and hope the lineman push somebody down.
Put somebody down there.
But you got to. There's clearly some zone reads that he just got to put his foot in the ground, make one cut,
Mm-hmm.
and he gone.
And gone.
But he
Exactly.
running right behind the lineman and then
That
get
was
stuck. I
always
don't.
the
I
issue with
do not
Miles Sanders.
understand.
Always the
I
issue with Miles Sanders.
I
I
don't
think
understand.
last year was his best year. I don't know what happened, but last year was his best year. Other than
You know
that,
how we say Porter is a product of the system?
Mm-hmm.
Martin's a product of that line them had last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do some zone reads. I just watch it. Big holes in it. He just got to put his foot in the ground, cut up. But the zones is like an outside zone. People gonna over pursue. Just put your foot in the ground, cut straight up. He
Mm-hmm.
run into the side with the lineman, and when the lineman don't give him no space, he get tackled. Like, dude, there's some big holes. That's not walked out, and he just have to. Hopefully, he get back in the game. That's a tough one. The Hayden Horse one. It looks like Tammy Tremble is taking over as the tight end one. Hayden Horse hasn't been the signing we expected, and when he goes on the field, he drops a catch. He's not blocking, but Hayden Horse hasn't really been a blocking tight end. But I think Thomas Brown and these guys look for tight ends that can block, and then they're gonna catch. Tremble is doing that. He's blocking well, and then he's catching. Hayden Horse, I don't know. Those are two signings that have backfired on us. Van Bell's signing has been really good. And like I said, there's a few things that could play into the Panthers not trade. I mean, if you really wanted to help Bryce Young, you would have gone and trade for a wide receiver now to help Bryce Young, a Jerry Judy or somebody like that. I believe that Scott Fitterer or Jim gonna get fired at the end of the thing because it's his signings that backfired. So the thing with it is, if I'm gonna fire him at the end of the season and I'm the owner, I'm gonna tell him, don't use up any more of my draft assets.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Right now we got 6 draft picks this year. We don't have a fourth. We got second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I'm telling Scott Fitterer, you don't use no more of my draft picks. You understand? Bryce Young will get through it with the season. We'll continue to build, but you can't use my draft assets anymore. I think right now we're at 48 million in cap space. If we cut Dante Jackson at the end of the year, that's an extra 10 million. So that's 58 million in cap space. And with a few structures, and so you could go up to 70 million. So
A
you could
lot of money.
sign a T. Higgins, you can sign a Jared Judy when they come up rather than giving up the thing. And then I know we don't have a first round pick, but if you could tell me how every team hits on a first round pick, that's a big lie. You
Mm-hmm.
got to be in top 10 to actually hit that. And even in the top 10, just look at the Raiders. Tyree Wilson ain't doing nothing, and he's a top 10 pick. Not every top 10 pick works out, and not every first round pick works out. I know we don't have a first round pick this year, but okay, you still got second thoughts. You got to learn how to draft. You can still make trades to help you. So it's crazy that those things happen, but I think the Panthers are in a position in the off season to get better. During this season, with Thomas Brown, you have to learn how to jail. Thielen has been on fire. Everything has advertised. People even called to try to trade for Thielen. But they're not gonna do that when that's Bryce Young go to guy, because then you're gonna mess his development up. So you keep Thielen, you hope Jonathan Bingo continues to get better. Those will be your two wide receivers. I don't think Chark will come back after 1 year. And then you sign a Judy or Higgins or something in the half season and then draft another receiver. That'll be 4 good receivers you got. And then you go from there. But for the Panthers in this game, it showed you something that they could remember. The Lions game was and the Lions and the what do you call it? The Lions and the Dolphins games were the games that got away from us. We could have beaten the Falcons week 1. We could have beaten the Saints week 2. Could have beaten the Seahawks week 3. But we just came up short. But that's where in fact right. Carlin wasn't good. Defense kind of just bend but don't break. But got worn out. The offense wasn't looking good. Now it look a lot better. Take away the Lions game and the Dolphins game, and all 4 of the games we could have won. We were leading in all of them, so it couldn't have been. It could have been a different season. But like you guys are saying, the main thing about the Panthers is Bryce Young's development.
Development.
Continue to get them better, and then I do believe next year you go hard with your signings, and the team should be good because Bryce Young ain't one of them type of quarterbacks that you need like 3 years to get good. Because the way he sees the field and understands the game, he just needs to get acclimated with the speed of the game. And I think Thomas Brown called a really good game. The only problem I had with Thomas Brown was we were right on the goal line and we ran the ball 3 straight times and got stuff. I would have play action one of them, and you would have catch him off guard.
Ah, the
Even
push
on
push.
no, they usually on third and inches they would take out Bryce Young and put in Dalton to do the tush push. Remember, Bryce Young small like a feather, and you can't push him. They gonna push him backwards.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I'm told no one, people trying to crash in. How to play action, that's so easy, right? And
Hmm.
so much people again. I don't understand, especially on the goal line. Everybody crashing. Why doesn't people do more play action? Some of them be open. I don't understand it sometimes. But like I said, I do believe Thomas Brown has been one of the biggest believers of Bryce Young. And he, like I said, he's after McVay tree. He's a running back coach. He, McVay, Bienemy, all of them was tight end coaches. So they understand the game and how to call it. So I do believe he's gonna grow with Bryce Young. And you side as the first game. We got the Colts next. Colts look like they're high flying and scoring, but should be a good game for us to win again. So I'll dive into that on Saturday. But from the Panthers' point of view, we're not that far off the South. I don't think we'll win it, but we're not that far off because guess what? The Falcons playing the Vikings. Maybe with Kirk Cousins, the Vikings could have win, but I don't think they're gonna win now.
Hmm.
But don't put it too far past the Falcons to just go and stink up the joint there.
That's a
This
possibility.
exactly. The Saints got the Cardinals. I think no, the Saints got a weak team. I think it's the Cardinals. But I don't think the Saints will lose there. And then the Buccaneers playing the Texans. I do believe the Texans could beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's possible.
So, so I mean, we right there. We win. Like I said, we win the Colts. Then we win the Bears. We 3-6, and could cause a little stir in the division. Because remember, we still got 4 divisional games. So that's stuff to look at. So anything can happen right now. But like I say, based on last game, I'm very, very positive going forward because we had a boy week. We got to start it out something. Yeah, I would have liked to see a trade or two, but it didn't happen. I can't really complain with that. So it's just on to the next week. Let's continue to stay healthy. Like I said, if JC Han comes back and Van Bale comes back, your defense is actually getting stronger. We just got back Aston Carbon on our line. It should give us a boost. So we are getting healthier. You make a run. You never know what can happen. Make a run. So we'll see as we go on into week 9 against the Colts, which is going to be a 4 o'clock game in Carolina. We'll see how it is. Anything from you on that game?
If them receivers had catch them bats, I would have beat them.
The game should have never
That,
been that close.
that game would have been out of hand.
Never
It
that
would have been
close.
that close. But you could see where your Thomas Brown, your offensive coordinator, you could see where he has Bryce Young feeling more comfortable. You could see where Bryce Young looks more poised inside of the pocket. Even after getting those 7 sacks, usually a young rookie quarterback would have already tottle up and probably throw a few turnovers and stuff like that. He
Exactly.
he stood tall in the pocket, delivered the football, delivered some good footballs too. Kind of see why he was the number 1 overall pick. A lot of those balls will just drop. Suckish thing is your best receiver is your oldest receiver in
For the
Adam
3-year-old
Thielen,
receiver,
right?
exactly.
So we would like to see what Bryce Young would look like if he had some um some
Actual
dominant
targets.
offensive players. Yeah,
But
some actual
you see the
targets.
thing about it is like what kind of like I'm excited for the future is that look at the Bengals. They knew Burrow was good. We had to get
Hmm.
him some targets. They drafted Chase, they drafted Higgins, you had Tyler Boyd.
Hmm.
Same thing with perfect example is Tua. Tua has limitations.
Yep.
So what do we do? Get him a dynamite head coach slash coordinator that gonna get the ball out of your hand fast and get him the speedsters.
Hmm.
Get him the Tyreek Hill, the Jalen Waddles, the Devin Acne, and them fellas. Same thing with the Lions. Goff has limitations, but he can be a good quarterback in the right system. Amron St. Brown, Jameson Williams, those for, and then they just traded for Donovan Peoples Jones,
Yep.
and they drafted Jamal Gibbs with the first round pick. They're putting pieces around to not make Goff have to do too much. The only person I see that don't get all the help is the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, Pat
Cause the
Mahomes.
Chiefs are always taking away the Tyreek. They got Kelsey, but the receiver group is very weak. But when you got Mahomes, then it's easier said than done. Just look at Purdy. They put the They put the pieces around to help him flourish.
So you know
So
Jalen Hurts.
same thing with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You trade for AJ Brown, you draft Devontae Smith, you got Dodard, you got Pascal as a speedster, but you put the line in place that Jalen Hurts can do what he can do, and he can
Mm-hmm.
run the ball to take the pressure out. Good teams do these things. That's the main thing about it. Good. Look at Jacksonville. Etienne, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk. The
Mm-hmm.
line is
Zay
better.
Jones, those guys.
Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. So the thing is, I actually excited. Like I say, it's his first year, right here. But I actually definitely think that as the year two, year three, they're gonna follow that philosophy. Help him by not making him have to do too much and putting people around him. So I know we don't have a first round pick. That's fine. But we have cap space to make a splash to help him. I do believe we can show up the line, but it can happen. And like you said, you can see why he was a first round pick with some
You
of
can
those
see why.
plays.
Mm-hmm.
He has the knowledge. He sees things that a lot of quarterbacks take 4 6 years to see. He's starting to get a lot. You can tell that he's starting to get more comfortable. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't help if you got a rookie quarterback and your line just leaving you get killed. You know what that does do to your confidence? That does shake you down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Young isn't letting the line take the Bryce Young is actually boosting up the line. He's moving, stepping into the pocket. I had one there with Thielen. He escaped the pressure and just sling it down the field. Them is things that like Rodgers
He got good
and
packet presence for you
Mahomes.
to see.
Yeah, you can see it. So I mean, sometimes he'll take a sack, but it's a covered sack. That's kind of why they can't get open.
Mm-hmm.
But you're seeing things that made him so special in Alabama that's translated. Remember, everybody always said the one knock on Bryce Young had nothing to do with talent. It had to do with
His
his
size.
size.
Yeah.
If he was 6'2", 6'3", they would have called him a generational quarterback. Like how they got Caleb Williams and them. The only problem was he was small and he's very, very thin. That's the only reason they don't call him that. But he has every tool in his book to be successful as long as he stays healthy. So we're gonna see how it is like that. All right, so we did do our teams. We could do a short segment with the 49ers. Basically, what I'm seeing from the 49ers is I don't like that you see now kind of analysts now saying, oh, we have a Steve Wilkes problem in San Francisco.
You can't give it to away.
Steve Wilkes don't go out there and rush a quarterback. But the quarter this 49ers team used to get 4 man rush and create havoc. You try to tell me that Hargrave, Armstead, Randy Gregory, and Nick Bosa can't get pressure, and that's a Steve Wilkes problem? No, don't come to me with that. Chadarius Ward, he's getting beat
He's
right
getting
now,
touched.
and he's the
Mm-hmm.
number one cornerback. The other cornerback, Lemano, they're picking on him. The safeties who Funga comes down in the box, they're still doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you got Greenland, you have Fred Warner. Those are top tier, tremendous players. But it all starts up front. If you're not winning the trenches, you're not gonna win on defense. And yeah, I know Steve Wilkes can call. He calls some bad. Steve is one of the most aggressive. He calls a lot of blitzes. But you're gonna have to call it if Nick Bosa and them can't get to the
And get home here.
can't get home. Part of the reason is they just can't get home. Steve Wilkes and them believe in 4 man rushes coming and getting home, but he's gonna get blitz heavy when they can't do it. The
Mm-hmm.
defense is not. I'm not putting. Yes, he has blame, but it can't be 100% blame on him. The way people talk about, oh, the 49ers have a Steve Wilkes problem, bullshit. The 49ers have a player execution problem because players aren't playing to their potential. And I'm not gonna always stick on the offense. The defense. The offense is not playing
I put it a
up to
lot on
par
Kyle
either.
Shanahan. I put a lot on Kyle Shanahan. Because that offense, you know that Debo is not there. You know that Trent Williams is not there. You know that right now Brockport is struggling. Why aren't you taking the ball out of Porter's hands and putting it more in Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell's hands?
But I think too, Jizzle, is if you watch the stats, the last 3 games, They all scored 17 points the last 3 games.
The
But,
offense.
McCaffrey has averaged 2.7 yards the last three
Mm-hmm.
games. So say what you want, they probably give it to him, but the line ain't get no push no more. Cause if you can, if it's only 2.7 yard, the thing is like the thing I like with the 49ers is that everybody compliments everybody well. So when you lose somebody, it throw off the balance. So remember,
Whatever happened to this genius scheme of Kyle Shanahan?
I don't know,
I
but
mean, I mean,
the thing is,
you lose one player who's a skill position player. You lose one left tackle. What happened to the genius? I thought he's a genius schemer.
so how I see it is like this: is like so Trent Williams out and the line kind of take a step back because Trent Williams does a lot for that line.
A lot
Okay,
pulling in you.
the thing with Debo is he's an underneath route and an over the top route. He can do so much. So with him, you're gonna watch two layers, but you still got McCaffrey, and then Ayuk does the road running, and then Jennings is like your third down thing. Without that, they don't have McCaffrey doing what Debo does. Yeah, he come out the backfield and so, but it's not like what Debo does. Cause Debo's a
Right.
bruiser, McCaffrey is not. Kittle can't go out and play tight end how he wants because he gotta help block before he do anything else. That leaves you as one wide receiver, which is Ayuk. Jennings is a third down receiver,
Slot receiver.
possession receiver.
Yeah.
The thing with Jennings, he makes all his catches right in the middle of the field. Purdy loves
Big,
to throw a time and roll down the middle. You see
big
what
defense
happened
to
to the
catch up to that
Vikings.
too.
You see what happened to the Vikings and
Mm-hmm.
the Bengals. Them jumping them middle routes.
Mm-hmm. Defense playing more tight in the middle too.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So without Debo, that throwing you off. Because are you going to run that road in the middle? Are you covers the boundary very good? So is what we can say about the 49ers is that it just the jail looks off, and I'm not gonna always put it on the thing because yes, I understand the defense is becoming the defense isn't like a defense last year, but they're trying to say that Stevens inherited the same defense as Demico Ryans. Yeah, but that not every year is the same. It's different. Bosa miss a lot of time. That whole lot really hurting Bosa because
Mm-hmm.
he's not how he is. Hargrave is a year older. Yeah, he's good, but at his age is gonna finally come up to
Yep.
you. Randy Gregory, he's
He's
a
an
high
okay pass
potential
rusher.
player, but yeah, you gotta get the full potential out of him. And then Armstead he's not playing up to his standard, up to his potential. Then you drafted Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson, yeah. But the thing about it is that the Browns, you only gave up 18 points or 19 points. Remember, they missed the field goal to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how much the Vikings had.
I think the Vikings scored 20 something, probably 22 points. I think.
Yeah, but my thing about it is too is that how since when the 49ers can score over 20 points?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I ain't going there and just bash the defense. What happened to the offense? All of a sudden the offense can't pass 20 points and yet it's a defensive problem. So that there just sound a little fishy to me, Jizzle. So with that 49ers, we're gonna have to see how they respond. They got a
It's
boy.
a bye week, but they got Seattle coming up next, and Seattle just traded for
No, I think
Melvin.
Seattle next.
Is Seattle
Jacksonville
the
next.
next? Oh, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is another good team too.
Okay.
They what 5 straight wins.
Okay.
That's gonna be a tough matchup too.
So exactly. So that's gonna be a thing. All right. So we're gonna see what happens with the father as they're on a boy week. We're gonna go through the trades and just give a grade. Jizzle. Um, the Bills acquired Rasul Douglas from the Packers for a third round pick. What your grade is for the Bills getting Douglas?
Russell, I'll give him a B.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, the
Yeah,
Bills needed
yeah,
some
some
help
kind of help.
because
They was what injured again, right?
yeah, he's been battling injuries and
Yeah,
they need some physical cornerbacks. The Packers got back a third one, which is good in my eyes for Rasul Douglas. So that should help them. The Browns send Donovan People Jones to the Lions. What do you think about that?
that's a good trade. So good trade to put more weapons with give Jared Goff some more help. I'll
I
put in
think
a
some
more
other the Lions, they ain't just released some other the Lions, a good wide receiver that them had there. He had some personal stuff going on. I think it's Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones.
Somebody on the Lions get released. That was a good, impactful receiver for them. It had to be Marvin Jones, man. It's Marvin Jones. Yeah, it's Marvin Jones that did not long ago because he going through some personal stuff. So he
Okay.
was stepping away from the team. Remember Marvin Jones was there like their veteran leader,
I know he was with he was with the
Jacksonville.
Jaguars, the Jacksonville. Yeah. He
Yeah, but
went
I
back.
think it's he. Yeah, I think um hold on. I think I guarantee the Marvin Jones in. Let me just check. Um just a couple. I'm sure it him. Marvin Jones, yeah, on Tuesday he was stepping away from the
Okay,
team due
okay.
to family matters. So I think with Peoples Jones now coming in, you got St. Brown, Reynolds from the Rams, now Marvin Jones, and you know who we don't talk about? Jameson Williams. He remember
Jameson
he
Williams.
was a 6 game, 6 or 5 game
He should be back now.
suspension. He's back, but he's not making an impact. If I was the Panthers, I was trying to get him so I could. Remember, Bryce Young was the partner. If he ain't gonna make an impact in Detroit, then you go there and trade him. But I think Donovan People Jones adds another element for what's his name for
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff and those guys. So I give that a B plus. Um, after that we got So the 49ers acquired Chase Young. What your thoughts on that?
Because they need some D line help. They ain't getting enough pressure on the line. I'll give it a B plus two as well because like Chase Young was a dominating force on defenses side in Washington. Even I mean he had Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, the Montez Sweat out there. You'd think he'd be dominated a whole lot more on that team.
Exactly.
So I give it a B plus.
I think one of the things when I saw that was if it's only a third, sure, why not take him? Add somebody else to the
Hmm.
mix. But I think for the 49ers, that speaks more about how worried they be about their pass rush.
Right.
Cause and to me, I would have actually gone after the other one, Sweat.
Montez
Sweat
Sweat.
actually being more productive. Chase Young went for a third. He's the second or first overall pick. Montez Sweat went for a second. So you could tell what the value is.
Right.
Chase Young hasn't produced after that fourth year when he had 7.5 sacks. He had a torn
True.
ACL. At this point, he's a Chase Young type name that, oh no, he would Bosa and everything. So then it stopped. But I read something saying that Chase Young, a lot of passes in the Commanders building, Chase Young will go out script a lot just to make a splash play. So you care about yourself. You don't do that because then
You
you're
don't
gonna
do
mess up the
that.
scheme.
Hmm.
And at this point, I don't know how to think about it. I mean, like I say, if the 49ers only give now a third round pick for Chase Young, why not? Just do it. But do you really think Chase Young can come in there and be a difference maker? I don't. Just another fresh body. And I think Randy Gregory could do the job better than Chase Young.
That's true too.
So we'll see how that one goes. But it's a B plus because they're just adding more to the table. We had the Vikings send God Ezra Cleveland to the Jaguars. I actually think that's an A because more offensive line help
Hmm.
um, to protect Trevor Lawrence, so that should be good.
Give it A2 as well.
The Vikings acquired Joshua Dobbs from the Cardinals. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll give it a A. They need quarterback help.
Yeah, I saw something saying that the Vikings were in serious talks with the Saints to get Jameis Winston. I don't know how that break off. But Dobbs, what Dobbs don't really do for you? I don't know.
Keep you competitive.
You think so?
Cardinals was competitive with Joshua Dobbs. He
Um,
wasn't.
after the first 3 games, they went downhill. The benchy. The Lions acquired Montez Sweat. What do you think about that?
The Lions are the Bears.
The Bears are.
I give it an A plus. The Lions are
Uh,
building towards some.
yeah, I think the Lions is
Lions are,
gonna.
I mean, not the Lions, the Bears. The Bears are
The
building towards something
Bears
right now.
are a young team right now.
Hmm.
They could use Ngakwe and Sweat off the edge to rush the passer. So that's something that's looking good. So we'll have to see. A young team with cap space.
A lot of cap space. I think
Problem is that
next year you're gonna see some splash plays from the Bears. I think
I think I
some
think the
splash
problem I
moves.
think the problem is the quarterback ain't working out.
The quarterback here.
Right now
That,
they
that,
got
that,
the number two and what's a three pick.
who got number one pick?
The
The
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Uh, so remember they got the Bears got the Panthers first round.
Yeah.
So they would have had the number two and three pick now. Do they go and get Caleb Williams or do they draft Marvin Harrison and trade the other one? We'll see. We'll see what happens. And then we had the Seahawks traded for
Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams. I think that's an A. I
That's the A.
think that's an A2. So
That's kind of
Seahawks
scary now too. As
making the push.
they got Frank Clark, they got Leonard Williams, they got those two safeties back there. The Cardinals aren't playing too bad, and they got a good offense.
Yeah, they're making a push to see what happens. All right, so that's what all the trades that we had. We'll just do our game balls and trash bags, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll do our game balls first. My game ball, another game ball goes to Bryce Young because you know I'm gonna do it because he won his first game. But my game ball goes. You go with your game ball first.
I give my game ball to the rookie Will Levis. First start in the NFL, came out dominating to beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna give my game ball to Jamar Gibbs. 26 rushes, 152 yards, one touchdown.
Hmm.
That's what the Lions envisioned when he was there, and he still did it in the past game.
Passing game
Five
too.
receptions, 37. Yeah, he's a do-it-all back. And I think that's what the Lions envisioned when getting him. So on the brightest stage, Monday Night Football, I'll give him the game ball. Who is your trash bag going to?
Mm. I give it to the Kansas City Chiefs receivers. What happened? You can't catch a football? You got the best quarterback in the NFL passing you the football and you can't catch it?
Upon a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
How much drops?
9 receivers had a catch.
But they had a lot of drops too.
That in business. My trash bag. Man, listen to this good. My trash bag goes to the New York Giants. You want me to tell you why? We always talk about teams getting some kind of bum backup quarterback that can't come in a game to help you. You are already done Daniel Jones. Tyrod was your backup. At least go get another backup that you know if Tyrod get
Mhm.
injured, you could throw the ball. So Tyrod get injured and then get put in some DeVito. 2 for 7 passing. 2 for 7. So Tyrod, listen to this, KD. Tyrod get injured in the first quarter, right? First quarter in autism. So you had 3 quarters legs. DeVito went 2 for 7 for -1 yards.
No, 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 no.
So you trying to tell me that Tyrod get injured in the first quarter, Dism, and the best thing Brian Dable could have done is bring in some DeVito for 2 for 7 yards -1, 2 for 7 passing -1 yards.
For a
That's the
whole
kind
game?
of for a whole game.
No,
Them
no, no.
just force feed Barkley. Barkley had like 36 rushes. So you trying to tell me you couldn't find nobody else but DeVito to sign that could come in and throw the ball? You got to be shitting me, KG. I no, 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 no. No.
Brand, they got coach of the year last year, right?
Well, them neither can't keep in the head of that one.
I don't know what happened. I think he kind of
I
left.
don't want to hear you. Don't tell me that you can't bring somebody in and throw the. If the Bears could bring in Baguette, to throw the ball.
Go
You
football.
gonna tell me DeVito come 2 for 7 yards for 3 quarters minus one
Mm-hmm.
passing yard? You got to be crazy. I don't know, KG. I ain't even. I ain't even. All right, that's our trash bags. Uh, the Thursday night game is the Titans and Steelers. I mean, Shane ain't here to take our pick. What? How you think that game gonna play out?
Will Levis?
You rocking with the left
We're
man?
rocking with Will Levis again.
Well, I gonna have to rock with him because I ain't never rocking with Trubisky. Pickett may be out and Chewy gonna be in, and Chewy just throwing his fear to the other players.
DeAndre Hopkins, he looked like he already has a connection with DeAndre Hopkins too.
Will Levis gonna sling that ball.
Will Levis gonna sling that ball. He
So I
looks good
pick
too.
it. I would pick the Titans too. Just like you said. But when she comes real thing, we can't even see our pickums. I probably think I win there now in the pickums. I think I win this, but I ain't too sure. But we gonna have to see when she come on Saturday. We gonna see who win that
Yeah,
one.
see who won there.
All right, so basically that's it for our show tonight. Like I said, Saturday we'll do our preview show. The Eagles play the Cowboys in a big NFC East matchup 4:25 p.m. and the Panthers play the Colts at 4:05 p.m. Me and Jizzle will come in to talk about those games on Saturday, and then on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday we'll break down our games as well. Um, but outside of that, that's it from us. Like I said, be sure to like and subscribe to the page. That's all we ask you guys to do. You'll always find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can always send us a message to jump on the show and we can get you on the show. Outside of that, that's it from us. We're gonna go and enjoy the rest of the night and watch some Thursday night football guys play and then head over to the weekend for
Mm-hmm.
some week 9 action. Outside of that, we're out.
Deuces.